We used to have this thing called shyness. It was when you felt awkward and self-conscious in social situations.
Oh, I am not good to talk to people.
But Carl Jung felt like this term wasn't lofty and academic enough. So in 1917, he coined a new term, introvert. He defined an introvert as someone who turns their psychic energy inward toward their own thoughts, their own feelings, and internal experiences, rather than outward toward people and external activity. He paired the term with its counterpart, extrovert, and believed we all carry both tendencies, with one generally dominating. It was a spectrum, not a fucking sorting hat. But thanks to the goddamn stupid internet, somewhere along the line, introversion became just another silly tribal affiliation. With that in mind, I want to introduce you to another cookie-cutter AI channel called Dark Psyche Zone. I discovered them when a video called "This Banned Brain Hack Can Make Introverts Smarter Than Any Gifted Genius." Isn't that just the cutest little bit of eye-rolling cringe you've ever heard? Check it out.
They don't want you to know this, but there's a brain technique so powerful, it's been quietly buried for decades. Not because it's dangerous in a physical way, but because it can make introverts smarter than even the most gifted geniuses.
Oh boy. When a cold, unfeeling AI language model is telling you about the forgotten wisdom of yore, you know you're in for some gold. I think we can skip the fluff about how you've been lied to about what intelligence really is and how school actually made you stupider. Let's get to the part where it lays the ancient wisdom on us.
The brain hack you're about to learn is not new. It's ancient, powerful, and quietly used by some of the greatest minds in history. Geniuses, they think in images. Instead of reading about ideas, they experience them inside their minds like in high-definition movies. Einstein once imagined himself riding on a beam of light, not reading formulas, but feeling the movement of time. Tesla built entire machines in his head, tested them mentally, and watched them run before ever lifting a tool.
Wow. Anyone else feel underwhelmed by this ancient wisdom? Seems like all they did was take the concept of visualization, add the word hyper in front of it, and no, that's it. That's the entire ancient secret. Look, there's nothing wrong with visualization. Athletes use it, artists use it, I use it. When I'm trying to picture a world where people stop falling for this algorithmic snake oil, but pretending it's some kind of long-lost occult technology suppressed by evil teachers and the Illuminati, just so you'll watch 12 minutes of recycled YouTube sludge, that is what we know as lame. But I decided to dig a little deeper into the Dark Psyche Zone channel, and I found a much less popular video called "The Energy Brain Hack That Can Make Introverts Inhumanly Strong or No Longer Human at All. No BS." Wow, superhuman strength? Transcending humanity entirely? Some bold claims. Let's see what this one has in store for us. Once again, I'll spare you the fluff. Oh, wait, I can't, because the whole thing is fluff.
What you're about to hear is not inspiration. It's mental warfare, raw, unfiltered, and dangerous, especially if you're introverted.
All it offers is some basic breathing exercises and suggestions like, listen to binaural beats, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if breathing exercises and binaural beats were the secret to superpowers, we'd be living in the fucking MCU right about now. What a sham! This is what happens when a psychological term becomes a marketing word, an identity brand. Sorry to burst your bubble, folks, But being an introvert isn't a gateway to superhuman strength or genius level intellect. It's just a psychological trait that makes you prefer quiet rooms over crowded parties. You're not a latent psychic warrior just because you don't like small talk. You're not the misunderstood chosen one because you get exhausted after brunch. You're just a person with a certain temperament. Dark Psyche Zone is not the only channel peddling this. YouTube's full of titles like The Unfair Advantage That Introverts Have and 7 Reasons Why Introverts Are So Attractive and so on. What the hell are you doing, introverts? Shouldn't you be reading in a dimly lit room somewhere, journaling your thoughts by candlelight, that kind of shit? Not obsessively watching garbage tier content designed to inflate your egos? You're supposed to be the quiet ones, the thoughtful ones, the ones above all of this performative nonsense. But now you're out here thirsting for validation, like it's some kind of job you have. Why the fuck do you, an introvert, need some edgy robot narrator to tell you that your lack of a social life is actually proof that you're a hyper-evolved, cerebral apex predator? What's all that about, eh? Are you okay, introverts? Studies have been done. There's no statistically significant difference in IQ between introverts and extroverts. Do they think differently? Sure. Introverts engage more with the frontal lobe and the prefrontal cortex. They're better planners, deep-thinking problem solvers. But extroverts show more activity in areas of the brain associated with quick decision-making, adaptability, and multitasking. And let's remember a super important bit of nuance that I mentioned earlier. This idea that people are pure introverts and pure extroverts is dipshit thinking. Most people, probably all people really, are somewhere in the middle. Introversion and extroversion are nothing more than tendencies, as in subject to change, just like any other mood. You might be introverted Monday, extroverted Tuesday. You might be extroverted this morning and introverted this evening. And sure, you may have a stronger tendency towards one or the other, but almost no one is monolithically tethered to one of them. So please don't fall for this ego validation hustle that's being run on you right now. I get that it's super alluring to think that your shyness actually makes you Zarathustra or Plato or something. But you ain't that. You're just a shy person watching AI-generated ego fellatio. To Dark Psyche Zone and other such channels, you're just a click. You're just money. And there's obviously no hyperbole they won't resort to get that click out of you. They'll tell you that your introversion gives you the ability to spin straw into gold if they think you're dumb enough to click on it. Look, if there's one thing that is true about introverts, it's that you, of all people, should not need this level of external validation. You should be able to sit with yourselves. That's the whole goddamn point, isn't it? That you recharge in solitude? Why do you all of a sudden need to be the center of attention? You're supposed to reflect and think deeply. So why the hell are you chasing delusions of grandeur through AI voiceovers and dumb dopamine hit thumbnails? If you're really that desperate to feel special, then find something more unique about yourself than being an introvert. Somewhere between 30 and 50% of people identify as introverts. It's not special. It's half the goddamn population. If that high number is right anyway. Then there are actually more introverts in the world than there are women. You want to be unique? Do something unique. Something that's uncommon. Mongolian throat singing. Play the theremin. Pet an ostrich. I don't know, whatever. Scratch that itch however you need to, but don't rely on something as pedestrian as being a goddamn introvert, because no one goddamn cares. It's banal. It's utterly goddamn banal, okay? That is all.